Collectible companies are being hit harder than ever with a huge change that has happened within the US this week. Let's go ahead and talk about it. So guys, welcome back. If you are new here, I'm Steph, aka Funko Freak Collects. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for a lot more. And if you're back and returning, hello, thanks so much for joining. Today, this is a little bit of a different type of video because there has been so much that has happened. Happy Friday, by the way, guys, in the US. If you're in Australia like my incredible fiance, then happy Saturday. But it has been a very wild day. There is so much that has been happening this week, of course, with huge changes in the US, but specifically today, I have found out so much more information, crazy things that are going on, and I really want to know what you all think about it. So don't forget to leave a comment down below letting me know anything else that you've seen, what your thoughts are. I really want to hear it all. So guys, as many of you may know, of course, there are huge changes going on in the US right now with new tariffs that the US has set. This is sending shockwaves throughout the entire economy. Of course, the stock market has just erupted and a lot of things are going on. Superplastic was the first company that I had seen that had announced that they were impacted by these US tariffs. And I had actually seen this before it hit social media because I've been subscribed to their emails for a really long time. A little bit of a backstory is that my mom and I have collected Superplastic for years. It was actually our gateway into collecting other collectibles, anything other than Funko, so all things designer toys, and we have amassed a huge collection of Superplastic collectibles. I also have just such beautiful memories of Superplastic collectibles with my incredible fiance Paul. I'd introduced him and he had seen a lot of pieces in my collection, and a lot of beautiful memories have been created because of those pieces that we love and share together. So it is definitely sentimental and really emotional to see that Superplastic had announced earlier this week, very much like the very rambunctious attitude of the company on April Fool's Day. And I had my fingers and toes crossed that this was a joke. I'll put a screenshot right here, but I had received an email, which was of course later shared on their website and over social media by the founder, Paul Budnitz, saying that they would be ceasing their toy production due to the new tariffs that the US was imposing. This was shattering, honestly, as a lover and collector of their products for many years now. It definitely is sad to see that companies are being impacted in this way. And they aren't the only one. Of course, this is just a video on the collectible industry, but as many of you know, and I'm sure that you've seen over the news, there are so many different things happening all over the world right now because of this. So Superplastic had shared this, and they actually have been running a sale for 79% off their existing toy inventory. And guys, today, Friday, capped off to a whole nother level. Superplastic had actually brought out the Janky and Googymon hardwoods, which retailed for a ton of money, precisely $1,800 US each, and discounted them to around a little under $400 each. They also brought out the Super Dackle, which was a collaboration with Mercedes that was retailing at $3,500. Again, it's all wood, discounting down to $500. They also brought out the all bronze metal Chop Chop, discounting that immensely as well. So we're seeing all these crazy hard to find collectibles that have been off the website for a super long time. I actually got to see the hardwoods as well as the bronze Chop Chop in their flagship store in New York City before it closed. So it was crazy to see these things pop up on the website at such a hefty discount. So if you love Superplastic or just love collecting, check out the website. They have a ton of toys that are on 79% off. But guys, it was my mom who had noticed some very precise wording in the letter and the email that was sent out to their subscribers. Of course, the email, I had received it, but you can see it on Superplastic's website as well. And they had continued to say Superplastic toys. Well, it was announced today through the Superplastic social media on Instagram is where I had seen it, that toys are ending, and they actually called it the sale the end of toys, which is very dystopian sounding and honestly really sad as someone who just loves their products. But it seems like they're going to be making a foray into YouTube. So it's very interesting to see, and I'm really interested as a collector to see over the next couple weeks to months how companies are going to adapt to these changes. So here you have a toy company who, of course, with these tariffs, they credit that to the problems that, of course, they cannot continue to make toys with these tariffs. They even had said that an 8-inch Janky would go up to retailing around $300 most likely, which is just crazy, and the company recognizes that as well. So a lot of new news, but it sounds like they're pivoting into something with YouTube. And it looked like, based on the clip on the Superplastic Instagram, that it was a lot of 3D animation and cartoons, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot more of that rather than physical toys. So that's Superplastic, guys. Paul and I ordered a bunch of stuff. We had a lot of pieces that we wanted to complete our collection with, and it's so crazy, the price drops. It has been such a just insane week. I mean, these guys back here who retailed for, I think, $250-ish went down to like $40. And it has just been crazy to see what has been happening. And guys, it is so sad, but this is not only, of course, impacting Superplastic this week. Today, I got an email, which was later shared over social media on the Abominable Toys Instagram, from Abominable Toys, saying that they were canceling one of their upcoming Kickstarters. They said this: "We are incredibly sad to share that the Jared Maruyama Kickstarter has been canceled. While funding was coming a little short of expectations, the decision to cancel has been made in light of new tariffs put in place, causing increased costs on both the squishable plush and vinyl figures. We will be reformatting this release, and the vinyl figures will release in the future at a later date. Unfortunately, the plush will not be produced. We would like to thank everyone who supported this campaign, and especially Jared, for all of the help and understanding throughout this process." So it is so sad to see, of course. This is a company that myself, my family, my fiance, all of our friends and community members collect, and it is so sad to see that in light of these new tariffs, decisions like this are being forced to be made. Now guys, there are two other things that I wanted to touch on in this video, which have been absolutely shocking. This morning, I checked out the Funko stock, which has plummeted just like the rest of the stock market. My stock itself had reached probably an all-time low, and the share price this morning, I had seen it go down to $5 a share. And this was crazy because the lowest I had ever seen it go down to was around $6.02. And to see it go down over $1 less than that definitely shows the impact that this recent news this week is having on the stock market. What does this look like for the future? Well, I am definitely nervous as a collector because I'm sure things like Funko or other collectibles, the prices will inevitably go up. That's just my opinion. It will be interesting, like I said, to see how companies pivot. But I really want to know what you guys think in the comments below. What do you think the impact will be? How do you think Funko can pivot? I would love to know your thoughts as well. Absolutely crazy. It had hit the news that the new Nintendo Switch pre-orders were being halted completely in the US because of tariff implications. The business move is to see how it pans out, how it impacts prices, and I guess we'll just have to keep up with the news and see what happens with technology like Nintendo. I'm sure this will impact Xbox, PlayStation. Time will only tell. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that this was educational as well. It definitely was for me because I continue to see news announcements today that just completely shocked me. And I guess when I think about it, it's not as shocking as, it more so makes sense with these new tariff implications in the US. However, it will be very interesting to see how companies adapt. Will it go in the way that Superplastic is going, where they're pivoting to more of a digital space? Or will different lines of collectibles have to be canceled or paused? Will pre-orders be canceled? What will happen with Kickstarter campaigns? I think there's a lot of questions out there that I would love to know what you think about it. And like I said, we'll just have to wait and see. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you don't already follow me on Instagram for a lot more content, come check me out at Funko Freak Collects. Of course, please give this video a like and don't forget to subscribe. And if you're not already a member of Paul and I's collectible community out on Facebook, come join us. We have a lot of fun there. Get to see a lot of different collections, as well as different designer toys and collectibles at DPFF Collecting Community on Facebook. So I'll see you guys in the next video, and here's hoping that the market turns back around. Bye guys!